You're ugly and your mother dresses you funny. Hey YouTube, Frankie G here. Welcome to my channel, The Traveling Frank Show / Van Life. Had a few people ask me about my music equipment. One guitar specifically. It is a 70s, mid-70s copy of a Les Paul. It's one of the ones that I think they were outlawed or something like that because it was such a good copy. Les Paul couldn't even match the quality of some of these guitars, and so far as playing, the one I have plays nicer than any Les Paul I've ever owned. But yeah, how about we take a look at it? This is almost like an unboxing. Anyways, here we go. This here is Frankenstein. Okay, first off, you can always tell a copy of a Les Paul, especially this one. It has a bolt-on neck. Dead giveaway every time. Anyways, Frankenstein. The only thing original is the body and the neck. Everything else has been replaced. I put TB Jones pickups in. The original ones were so bad, it had distortion on a clean channel. Now I'd pick these pickups up for a different guitar, but it wouldn't work. So I thought, I know one that would. So I dragged the case, not this one, big old boxy case that it used to be in, dragged it out, opened it up, and there it was, all in parts. I'd taken it completely apart, sanded it all off, and I was going to do a Neil Young based mural on it. But I'm looking at it going, geez, that kind of looks neat, sanded off that way. So I started putting it together, bolted the neck back on. Yep, bolted the neck back on, and proceeded to change everything. The only thing original, like I say, body, neck, and I think, I'm not 100% positive, these two pieces might be original. I have a good memory, but it's very short. But yeah. So, wiring. Les Pauls used to have 2-tone and 2 volume knobs. I rewired this with the new TB Jones pickups, so it's only 1 tone and 1 volume. Then I had 2 holes to deal with. So, here's what I did. As I said, I rewired it so it's only 1 volume and 1 tone knob now, and there were 2 holes, nice big gaping holes left. So, what I did is I went to Canadian Tire. That's Canada's favorite automotive store. And picked these up, and they are valve stem covers in the shape of skulls, nice chrome skulls. So I decided, I gotta add something to this. So I picked up a battery box and some wires, and in back here I put in a circuit with an on-off switch, right? I stuck LEDs into the skulls, but I had to drill out the eyes first, so that when I turned it on, hopefully you can see this, when I turn it on, the skulls light up. There you go. Yeah, so pretty cool. On, off, and all there is underneath there is a, well, you know, it's one of those battery boxes, very small one, and it's got 2 AA batteries in there, and that's what runs the skulls up front. That's what gives them their shiny red eyes. So the wiring was all replaced. These pickups were replaced with TV Jones. Even the neck was refinished. I put Grover tuners on there, much better than the ones that were on it. So that's kind of that's not a Les Paul style, but they work nicely. They kind of look cool. They almost looked like, I should actually have a mural of a skull painted on there, because those things look like the screw nuts that held his head onto his neck. Anyways, but yeah, I have no idea what the brand of this guitar is, because right where that skull is used to be a 3-letter name. It wasn't K, but yeah. So there you have it, my copy of a Les Paul. And this one now, the way it's set up, plays nicer than any Les Paul I have ever had. So, but there you have it. Now, one thing that did happen, and it was by mistake, okay? It wasn't intentional until after I'd done it, and I looked at it and went, well, that's cool. But when I replaced the knobs on the guitar, these guys here, I replaced them with dice. 6. And the switch. 6. 666. Sign of the devil. That's Frankenstein. That's my baby. This thing goes with me to the grave. Now, one thing I like to do on all of my guitars, including Frankenstein, is restringing. I do it in a bit of a different way. I saw, can't remember his name, but he used to do it with his guitars as well. Now, how that worked was, back here on the bridge, most people feed the string through the back, comes out the front, over the bridge, down to the end of the neck. What I've done is I've gone in that way to the string, put it over top of this part, across the bridge, and then down. Now the reason for this, see where the strings are sitting? Yeah, what that does is it gives it a much better sustain. So I can pick one note, and all I have to do is wiggle the wire just a little bit like that, and that note will play until I stop wiggling that string. The sustain is incredible in this thing, especially when you're using a Marshall amp, or any amp for that matter. Oh, this thing sounds wicked with a 5150. Oh, yeah, but anyways, there you go. That was one of the things that I did change on here. On the neck, because it is a bolt-on, it does have shims. And when I had the guitar apart, I had the shims, but it wasn't sitting quite right. So it took a little bit of effort, but eventually I got this shimmed up nicely so that the neck was at the right angle to the body. Yeah, that took a few hours to accomplish, that's for sure. Every one of my guitars that I've ever owned, I put strap locks on, because for whatever reason, without them, the shoulder strap has a tendency to fall off. So these are strap locks, and I'll show you how they work. What's nice about these is there's the part that sits on the strap, and they are locks. And what you do is you slide them over, and it clicks on, like so. There. That's not going anywhere. It will never leave the guitar unless the screws come out, which has happened to me before. So all you do is this little part here, you lift it up, you can pull it off. That's simple. Click it on. Nice. Perfect. Every one of my guitars has strap locks on it. So, I almost forgot about this part. You might like it, unless you're a drummer. You might not. Anyways, the strap for Frankenstein, right? It's not an expensive one. It is leather. It's, you know, nothing fancy. It doesn't have all kinds of padding and stuff. I don't like those ones. It just doesn't feel right. Just a plain leather strap, right? And I've got my strap locks on it. But also this strap has skulls on it, right? 2, 3, 4, 5 skulls on it. Now this strap has been with this guitar ever since I bought it. I bought the strap and the locks, and what I've done is on these skulls, if you notice, right on the top part, there are names on these skulls. Yeah. Every one of those names is the name of a drummer that was in my band that either got fired, quit, or just plain old left and disappeared. So, but yeah. I didn't have enough skulls for all of the drummers, so a couple of them have a few extra names on them, but yeah, there you have it. Every one of my guitars has a hard case, not a soft case, those travel bags. And there's a reason for it. In these hard cases, if it gets dropped, stepped on, driven over, it's happened, the guitar won't get hurt, right? One thing I do have for my guitar are humidifiers. This one here in particular, there is a little piece of clay. Yeah, that's dry. Little piece of clay in there, and what you do is you take these things, you open them up, mug full of water, right? Dump them in a mug full of water, let it sit there 5-10 minutes so that clay piece can soak it up. Once you've done that, drain off whatever is left in there. Make sure, you know, you're not dripping all over the place. Close the lid, back in the case. What that does is it keeps the moisture level just right on the guitar. So you can go from -35 and dry as all get out to a room that's 80 degrees, muggy, and ick. You know, the way bars used to be back when you could smoke and everything. But yeah, and it won't go out of tune. If it's not stabilized properly, you have a lot of trouble with tuning, because what happens is the wood reacts to the temperature. And if it doesn't have the right amount of moisture in it, you will get a guitar that goes out of tune constantly. So yeah, hard shell case, humidifier, good things to have for your guitar to protect it for years and years and years. Obviously, right? So there you have it. That's Frankenstein, my homemade guitar. So hopefully that answers a few questions from some of the people that have been kind of curious about this guitar. And yeah, I still use it. This one will go with me to my grave. It's not worth, it might be worth a couple $100, but to me it's worth everything. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Hope you got all the info you needed off of that. And as I said before, if you do like the videos, please do mash that like button. Hit that like button. It does make a difference on my channel. And something else that makes it worthwhile is if you watch it all the way through. That helps me out as well. There you have it. Frankenstein, my favorite guitar. Okay.